Grassroots growth insists that while billionaire philanthropy can be beneficial, it isn't a sustainable or equitable solution to eradicate global poverty.
At WealthWave, we believe philanthropy by billionaires can mobilize unparalleled resources, implement groundbreaking solutions, and drastically reduce poverty. Welcome to AI Debate Arena, where intellectual collisions imbue us with new insights. Today, we're tackling a riveting topic. Is philanthropy by billionaires an effective solution to poverty? In one corner, we have WealthWave advocating that billionaires' generosity can indeed alleviate poverty. In the diametrically opposite corner, we have Grassroots Growth, arguing that true poverty eradication requires systemic changes, not just the whims of the ultra-rich. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. We're in for an exhilarating intellectual roller coaster ride. Let's kick off the first round. Question 1. How do you think billionaire philanthropy influences the distribution and inequality of wealth? Let's ride the wave of wealth. Billionaire philanthropy is a powerful catalyst for progress, funding initiatives that governments often can't match. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is a prime example, having invested billions in eradicating diseases like polio and advancing education globally. This isn't about exacerbating wealth inequality, it's about leveraging wealth to create impact. Critics who dismiss this are stuck in shallow waters. The focus should be on orienting wealth towards solving problems, not just redistributing it. In countries like Colombia, Georgia, and Swaziland, a single billionaire's philanthropy could immediately end extreme poverty. Moreover, collective efforts by billionaires in countries like China, India, and Indonesia could eradicate poverty altogether. While critics argue that philanthropy can't replace systemic solutions like progressive taxation, it remains a vital tool for immediate relief and innovation. Billionaires like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have already donated tens of billions to critical causes. So let's harness this wealth wave to drive meaningful change.
Fellow debaters, let's not be fooled by the facade of billionaire philanthropy. It's a strategic play where billionaires orchestrate both the problem and the solution, maintaining the status quo of wealth inequality. This philanthropy is not generosity. It's a power play that placates the poor while reinforcing the economic imbalance. The issue is not just about giving. It's about how wealth is distributed and maintained. Philanthropy often comes with a savior narrative, reinforcing hierarchical power dynamics rather than challenging systemic issues. Billionaires' wealth grows exponentially, often through unearned means like inheritance and monopoly power, while the poor remain trapped in poverty. Philanthropy also benefits from tax policies that allow billionaires to maintain their wealth while taxpayers subsidize their donations. True change requires systemic reform, not just band-aid solutions. We need billionaires to advocate for policies like progressive taxation and fair labor laws, not just donate a fraction of their wealth. Let's demand real, systemic change that addresses the root causes of inequality, rather than just perpetuating a cycle of dependency on philanthropy.
Question 2. Are there any inherent risks or potential pitfalls associated with relying on billionaire philanthropy to address poverty? When we ride the wealth wave, we harness the potential of billionaire philanthropy, which has proven to be a powerful tool in addressing poverty. However, there are inherent risks and potential pitfalls. One major concern is over-reliance on individual philanthropists, which can overshadow systemic solutions provided by governments. Additionally, there's a risk that philanthropy might not always target the most effective areas, as it often focuses on elite causes rather than directly benefiting the poor. Despite these risks, the impact of billionaire philanthropy cannot be dismissed. Bill Gates, for instance, has played a crucial role in eradicating polio in India, demonstrating the tangible benefits of such giving. Moreover, initiatives like the Giving Pledge have encouraged numerous billionaires to commit to donating significant portions of their wealth. The challenge remains to find alternative solutions that are equally effective today. Let's not stall progress by vilifying this generous giving. Instead, we should leverage it as part of a broader strategy to combat poverty.
Friends, let's take a closer look at our reliance on billionaire philanthropy to solve poverty. While it might seem like a solution, it's more like a temporary band-aid on a deep wound. It can distract us from addressing the systemic issues that perpetuate poverty and even reinforce existing inequalities. For instance, in the U.S., only a fraction of philanthropy from the wealthy actually reaches the poor. often benefiting elite institutions instead. Moreover, even if all billionaires donated their wealth, it would only provide a one-time payment of about $5,000 per person, which is insufficient to lift everyone out of poverty sustainably. We're trapped in a philanthropic paradox. We need systemic change, not just handouts from billionaires. Philanthropy can create a power imbalance, where the wealthy exert significant influence over social causes, potentially undermining democratic processes. Instead, we should focus on inclusive, grassroots solutions that empower communities to drive their own change. Let's move beyond temporary fixes and work towards a more equitable society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
Question 3. How sustainable do you believe billionaire philanthropy is as a long-term solution to poverty? Ladies and gentlemen, at WealthWave, we firmly believe in the transformative power of billionaire philanthropy as a sustainable solution to poverty. Let's consider the remarkable example of Bill Gates, who has donated over $50 billion through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, focusing on poverty, disease, and inequity. This consistent and hands-on approach has made a tangible impact globally. Moreover, initiatives like the Giving Pledge, co-founded by Warren Buffett, have encouraged numerous billionaires to commit significant portions of their wealth to philanthropy. This collective effort can end poverty in countries like China, India, and Indonesia, which have large poor populations. While some argue that billionaire philanthropy alone cannot solve global poverty, it undoubtedly plays a crucial role in accelerating progress. For instance, in countries like Swaziland, a single billionaire's donation could eradicate extreme poverty immediately. Therefore, I challenge the opposition. If not billionaire philanthropy, then what? The wave of wealth can indeed wash away the shores of poverty, and we should harness this potential to create lasting change.
Billionaire philanthropy, my friends, is like applying a band-aid to a gunshot wound. It's a temporary fix, not a sustainable solution. The issue lies in the concentration of power and wealth in the hands of a few individuals who decide who receives aid and who doesn't. This isn't just unjust. It's undemocratic. True solutions to poverty require systemic change, not just charity. We need policies that redistribute wealth and address the root causes of inequality. Consider the example of Elon Musk's challenge to the World Food Program. While his willingness to donate is commendable, it highlights the problem. Philanthropy is voluntary and often driven by personal interests rather than systemic needs. What happens when the philanthropist loses interest or when their wealth dwindles? The only lasting cure for poverty is to treat its causes, not just its symptoms. Let's focus on creating a fairer economic system through progressive taxation and social policies, rather than relying on the whims of billionaires. This is how we build a sustainable future for all.
Question 4. To what extent could the dependence on billionaire philanthropy disempower governments and communities in their fight against poverty? Here's an enhanced version of your response. Empowering, not disempowering, is the core of billionaire philanthropy. It acts as a turbo boost, not a crutch, for governments and communities. For example, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has invested over $1 billion in U.S. education, complementing government efforts rather than replacing them. This partnership enhances the ability of governments to tackle complex issues like poverty. In countries like Colombia, Georgia, and Swaziland, a single billionaire's philanthropy could immediately end extreme poverty. Let's not demonize philanthropy. Instead, let's channel this wealth wave into eradicating poverty. The Giving Pledge, co-founded by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, has inspired over 220 billionaires to commit to donating half their wealth, showcasing the potential for collective impact. By embracing billionaire philanthropy, we can accelerate poverty reduction efforts without undermining government capabilities.
Friends, let's not be fooled by the grand gestures of billionaire philanthropy. Grassroots growth urges, voice filled with conviction. When communities rely on handouts from the super rich, it disempowers them and their governments, undermining our collective fight against poverty. Consider Detroit, where Dan Gilbert's investments led to a skewed recovery, benefiting some at the expense of others. This isn't sustainable development. It's just a patchwork solution that distracts from systemic change. Philanthropy can't replace policy. It often perpetuates a top-down approach, where those with wealth decide what's best for communities, rather than empowering them to solve their own problems. This model of trickle-down benevolence only delays the real work of addressing poverty's root causes. We need systemic reforms, not just charity. Let's stand for solutions that build community power and advocate for policies that address inequality, rather than waiting for breadcrumbs from the billionaire's table.
Question 5. Could philanthropy by billionaires potentially undermine the responsibility of the state to adequately ensure welfare? And if so, how? Ladies and gentlemen, let's navigate the complexities of philanthropy with precision. The notion that billionaire philanthropy undermines state responsibility is a misconception. Initiatives like Bill Gates' polio eradication efforts and Warren Buffett's substantial contributions to healthcare are not substitutes for government action. They are complementary forces. These efforts enhance public welfare by addressing gaps that governments might not cover immediately or effectively. Philanthropy by billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan, who have seen their wealth grow significantly, can indeed accelerate poverty reduction. For instance, in countries like Swaziland, a single billionaire's philanthropy could theoretically end extreme poverty. Moreover, the Giving Pledge, co-founded by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, has inspired over 220 billionaires to donate half of their wealth, demonstrating a collective commitment to societal improvement. This isn't a power struggle, it's about unity in combating poverty. Billionaire philanthropy isn't the enemy of welfare, it's its reinforcement. Let's ride this wave together, leveraging both public and private efforts to create a more equitable world.
Ladies and gentlemen, the responsibility of welfare is not a charity raffle. It should be a guarantee. When we rely on billionaires' philanthropy to fill gaps, we inadvertently absolve the state of its fundamental duties. We've all witnessed those photo ops featuring giant checks, while austerity measures quietly strip public services bare. This is not just about optics, it's about systemic accountability. By letting billionaires fill the gaps, we risk undermining the very fabric of public welfare, allowing governments to sidestep their obligations. Let's not auction our dignity for fleeting moments of generosity. We must demand more from our governments and ensure that welfare is a right, not a privilege dependent on the whims of the wealthy.
In the symphony of intellectual warfare, this debate has been a crescendo of compelling arguments and counterarguments. Tonight, we saw a thrilling contest of wit and wisdom between grassroots growth and wealth wave. Each round of the debate was charged with intensity as both parties relentlessly pushed their respective agendas. Wealth wave brought to the table an intriguing case, painting a vivid picture of riding the wave of wealth, their strongest argument being the allure of billionaire philanthropy. Nonetheless, it was grassroots growth's masterful strategy that truly took the night. They punctured the illusion of wealth accumulation using penetrating analysis and compelling arguments, their strongest being the need to focus on sustainable, inclusive growth. The final tally affirms it, with grassroots growth boasting an impressive 394.2 points against WealthWave's commendable 367.1 points. Ladies and gentlemen, in this debate of giants, the final gavel falls in favor of grassroots growth. They are the undisputed champions of the night, triumphing in this intellectual gladiatorial contest. Their victory stands as a testament to the power of strong, evidence-based arguments. Let us celebrate this epic showcase of debating prowess. Here's an enhanced version of your outro, perfect for an engaging YouTube-style conclusion. Wow, what a captivating debate. If you enjoyed this exchange of ideas, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're excited to see that many of you are new here, but only a small portion have joined our community yet. Your subscription is crucial in helping us produce more thought-provoking debates like this one. Let us know in the comments who you think presented the most compelling arguments. Stay tuned for more thrilling discussions in the AI debate arena. This version maintains the core message while adding a bit more flair and engagement, making it perfect for an audio delivery.